The European Union's division became apparent during talks for a coronavirus recovery fund as Dutch PM Mark Rutte's arrogance blocked an agreement. In July, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen presided over a deadlock regarding the bloc's economic response to the coronavirus pandemic. The bloc only managed to reach an agreement 2 days later than anticipated after arduous negotiations. Leaders reached a historic agreement for a £675 billion coronavirus pandemic recovery fund on the summit's fifth day after tense disagreement. Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte had provided the strongest opposition to the plans on the table, which were said to have argued for a cap of £316 billion worth of grants, preferring loans of strict conditions. The Recovery Fund had originally set £450 billion to be handed out as grants and £226 billion in loans. Catherine de Vries, professor of political science at Bocconi University, told the Financial Times that Mr. Rutte was trying to show his Dutch voters at home he was fighting for their interest. She added, "The Dutch have always been difficult in EU budget negotiations, but now there is the feeling that they are really punching above their weight." Ever since Brexit saw the UK leave the bloc, the Netherlands has stepped into the shoes of Britain to argue for a smaller common budget and a less stringent single market. An EU diplomat revealed at the time that the Dutch stance in the talks had rubbed other leaders up the wrong way. They said, "The Dutch have never cared about having a pretty face in these talks. They come to Brussels to defend their national interest. They irritate many because their bluntness can be seen as arrogance." An agreement was eventually reached, but not without hostility. As tempers flared during the small hours, Mr. Macron banged his fist on the table, saying he was ready to walk out if sterile blockages continued. Ms. von der Leyen said the negotiations, lasting more than 90 hours, had been worth it, and that the EU could not be accused this time of doing too little, too late. While the bloc celebrated its breakthrough, the EU's image has still been marred by failings throughout the pandemic. Mark Leonard of European Council on Foreign Relations polling highlighted a poll in which Brussels received mixed messaging. Mr. Leonard said last month, "Across Europe, most people think the EU has failed to live up to its responsibilities during the pandemic.